On behalf of our collective, I'd like to share compassion for both Adolf Hitler and Pope Pius XII that made a Reich Concordant so that the Vatican could reach out. So Hitler thought he had it all. You know, that unification of the church and the state to be a empire builder and invoke madness by exercising hatred of a class of people. And you know, you could say that he got caught. You know, he got caught. He got outmaneuvered. No, he gave it to Bush. But Hitler's a second density being right now. We know that on this planet. So we missed it. Now what about Pope Sherman, who put it together? That dude reigned from 39 until 58. So wouldn't it be interesting to know where he is now? You know? I'm just saying. You have to go with the similarities of the Ukraine, because you have that other guy that put the assassination teams together in the Ukraine for 30 days when Hitler went. I mean, when you got the Ukraine on your side, man, you got the assassins going on. All right, Barnabas, please. Come on, Rambo. Yep. Oh, yeah. So, in the way of compassion, wherever Pope Pius XII may be, remember now, 39 to 58, he had treaties established all over the world. And Hitler's demise in the big rotation, call it 58, because he obviously survived after World War II. But that promulgated the ascension of Bush into Vatican II. I did a video on it that I can attach to this one. But isn't it interesting to be ascending and to be able to exercise compassion for all these people? Hillary was Jezebel, but she had a poo-poo stain on her dress. Linda McAllister loves Trump, and she's awesome. So who am I? What am I doing here? You're John Stockton. You got birth control glasses on. You said that honestly because you were Perot's sidekick. They let you freewheel it, Stymie. And you wanted to go back to Vietnam with Ross to the Hanoi Hilton. Yeah! Give it to Billy. Bush asked him the question during the debate, because Clinton had been challenged about his loyalty to communism and showing up in Moscow with a bunch of people, which he didn't deny. So George was saying, look, if you love your country, you're not supposed to do that. How are you supposed to vote for a president when you have that kind of attitude? Come on, that means we lost to communism. We're not losing to communism. And I'm sure Ross, you know, over to you, Ross. You know, that's softball. Ross Perot now, Vietnam. He's got Clinton by the crosshairs, and then he's just got to go after the man. What did Perot do? Well, no, I can't excuse anybody's birthday, do what they're young. Now, beyond that, I'm hot-headed, so Billy, you take it from there. And Clinton, poised, said this. You know, Not, this isn't a quote, it's a paraphrase. Para balas. From Baal. But with a little bit of truth built in. There must be truth. He laid it right back on Prescott Bush. And the things that Prescott Bush had said and done in terms of showing the capacity to be what amounts to a non-state actor. Whoop! Where Prescott was a financier of Adolf Hitler. We'll back to him. And William Clinton was actually giving Prescott indirect credit for what he had done. And you know, George, he knew the whole thing was going on. The big do-loop of, okay, now we get the delay. You're in the pocket. I allowed the third-party candidate to come in because, let's face it, the citizens need to believe that we have something going on here. But Clinton won that election on the whole read my lips. I mean, if you look at George Bush and what he did, let's admit, if you lived through it, he ramped the force up. And by the time he was in the window for consideration, everybody was sort of back home, and the multi-level, multinational hibbity-bibbity was all standing down. No reason to go back to Iraq. We dropped the army as they were retreating from Kuwait. So goodness knows, let Saddam fire a gun off the freaking balcony if he wants. If he shoots a scud, it's going to be a dud. Because the agency's all over that stuff. But Jorge Jr., time to go back. And that bozo can't be given credit for too much. You got to jump it right back into military channels and go with the ones that were running the show back in the day. Not Bill Garrison, by God. He was dropping helicopters till the early 90s, and then he kind of faded into a wall somewhere. Slick Willie Garrison. Kind of like a West Texas belle. What's flatulence? I can quote him on that. And you know who saved his ass? It wasn't the lawyer, it was the surgeon for the unit who gave him a Webster's book definition. So he rolled that into play. But, in terms of compassion now, I mean, you got to stretch deep with these guys. They have to forgive themselves and reconcile what they did. And I don't know where Hitler just must have. He didn't even make a Prince Philip. And I can't speak for how it goes with promotions, but there'll be a collective around here that makes that decision. As for Pope Sherman, come on, Pius, whatever his real name was, he was the ambassador of Rome to the Reich, which is the German Empire. And every member of Congress surrendered to it at the end of World War II on paper. Seems like we did it over and over again because we transformed in 1871 and put some extra stuff in the hoo-ha with corporations. And then we surrendered to the Nazis after 1940. Or whatever date that thing was signed. It was done at that point. No matter how the war went, the treaties were out there. So it just followed course. It is astounding. And I'm trying to explain it to you while looking from 10,000 feet. Look, we're flying in now. This is the U.S. coming into Luzon. And there's China coming around the bend like, whoa, ha, ha. That was just several months ago. But we decided we needed to do that. So you thank Chairman Z for not inflating the artificial sun and just burning everything that was flying around over there. 7 times hotter than the Shemesh, thermo speaking, according to science. I think it's wonderful the way it is. It's away from here, but it's keeping me warm right now. It's chilly, but it's nice. I mean, I'm in short sleeves and I'm trying to have fun. So let's forgive everybody. And if you just keep loving your heart, eat lots of fiber and fart. Who would have done it if it's silent? If you don't know, you don't know who did it. You want to learn about covert ops and concealed operations and clandestine operations. You just discuss a room full of people and a fart and the nature of the fart. Look, I'm straight-faced and I can explain it, and anybody that's been an intelligence professional has heard this analogy, because then you know how it works. I'll explain it in another video because I'm getting a little bit lengthy, and I just love everybody too much, and everybody should do their own research. What did he just say? You mean I can be an ascended master and research from an intelligence perspective an analogy of a fart? Born without a soul. Christened without a skin. Came into the world roaring. Never came back again. So if you want to clear the room, you just nail it. One way or the other. One way or the other. And forgive Adolf Hitler. I'm sure his diet was according to where he is now. You know. Just let a dog go near a cat shit. And that's enough. Because we're in territory that doesn't need to be discussed. But the perfect diet for a cat is a rat or a mouse. And mice, when they're infected, there's a kumbaya going on, to where the virus is sort of carried in the cat, and the attraction of the cats to the rats, and the feline to the leukemia. I'm telling you what, just said it. Somehow I just said it with a straight face. Now, this baby's still running. I'm going to sign off in peace. Through superior awareness at 1313.